Okay. Uh, Good evening, all my Dhamma brothers and sisters. I am Venerable Candimālaṅkāra. Today, I would like to share about the Maranassati practice and its potential benefits. Maranassati is the Pali term. It is generally translated as mindfulness of death or meditation on death and that awareness practice and reflection on that with the mindfulness. So generally, the term Maranassati translates like that. In the Theravada Buddhist literature, sometimes instead of the term Maranassati, Maranassati also used. So the Buddha expounded about the Maranassati in many discourses, like the Maranassati Sutta, Mahasati Padhana Sutta, Bhaina Pijawakitaba Thana Sutta. In the Bhaina Pijawakitaba Thana Sutta, the Buddha instruct his disciple to reflect on death so often. But in the contemporary world, the death is considered like the inappropriate subject for conversation because being afraid of death, people avoid to talk about it. Some people believe that the discussing death will only bring misfortune or bad luck. Even thinking about that is no good because it can bring the bad mood or when we talk about that, the one that can invite the evil spirit into their family. That's why they are afraid of talking about that. Additionally, some people think that uh, thinking or practicing about that is only to produce the negative impact on social achievements or human endeavor, human effort. So it means when we practice modernity or when we think about that, we don't want to try to get the achievements or something we want. So actually, it is not right. It is the misunderstanding or about the on the modernity practice. That's why today I would like to explain some benefits of modernity practice first based on the Theravada Buddhist literature. Okay, let me share you my screen. Uh, so let's continue. Sorry for any inconvenience. So in the now we are go to the slide number 3. Number 3. So Maranassati is a profound contemplative practice. Its roots can be traced back to the early Buddhist teaching. The word Maranassati is generally translated as mindfulness of death, a meditation on death, death awareness practice, reflection on death with the mindfulness, and so on. So sometimes instead of Maranassati also used in the Theravada Buddhist literature. The concept of Maranassati is deeply rooted in the broader Buddhist teaching on impermanent nature in the noble truth of suffering dukkha, dukkha Ariya Sajja. Let's go to the chapter, slide number 4. That in the contemporary world, there is a taboo subject, even the thought of that bring back luck. Why discussing that the one might hurry that or invite evil spirit into the family. Thinking about that is unpleasant and bound to put one in a bad mood, and it produces negative impact on the social achievement and human endeavor. So that most of the people think about that like that. Actually, that is not like that. So here we can see even some Buddhists think that thinking about there is a barrier to human endeavor, but it is not like that because when we practice the mindfulness of death, it can reduce only the greed or lust, not the right effort, the right exertion. Exactly to say, people get success or higher achievement not because of the greed only, but because of the right exertion as well. When one reflects wisely on that, one gets the sense of agency that is associated with the right effort. One who have the Samvega exert himself properly in the Theravada Buddhist literature, the right exertion or the right effort is regarded as the root of all attainment. Sama adada, sabha sampadina mulan hodi. So when we practice mindfulness of that, it will reduce only lust or greed, not the right effort. There is one evidence in the Theravada Buddhist literature. There is one story that in that story, the Maranassati practitioner do not neglect their business. Once, when the beloved son of the family member died, at the time, none of the family member cried at his death. Keeping the son's dead body aside, the father did his regular work. So did the family member. That's why the Maranassati pride do not reduce their effort. So in such situation, most the ordinary people stop working and studying for some time at least. Some people give up their professional job or successful business. It is because they forget about that and they are lack of Maranassati pride. So when the unexpected death come around them, they can't control their emotion and they get many stress, many sorrow. That's why they give up their professional job and their work. So like that, this family, there is also one story about the Malika. She also could keep on doing the good deed when she had the bad news that her son and husband were assassinated at the same time. It is because she also prided the Maranassati like that. The thing subject to die is die. The thing falling into broken is broken. Like that, she prided Maranassati. That's why we could say that the practicing, lack of practicing Maranassati is the reduce, produce the negative impact rather than practicing Maranassati. And then there are also one the benefits mentioned in the Theravada Buddhist literature. We can see in slide number 5 the support of Maranassati for dispelling fear of death. So the Maranassati practitioner will not fear when facing the actual death, like a man with a stick through the snake way. So when someone practices Maranassati, he is like a man who have a stick. When seeing the poisonous snake, at the time he had no fear because he can throw away the snake with a stick. So also, when we practice, we can reduce the fear of death. Here, the Abhaya Sutta, it is said that those who have abandoned the desire for sensuality, the desire craving for the body, have done what is good and have right, that is certain about the noble Dhamma, do not grieve and are not in terror or death. So this is mentioned Abhaya Sutta. So practicing Maranassati is to accept the nature of death. Let's go to the slide number 6. To practice Maranassati is to accept the death. How to accept? There are 3 kinds of acceptance mentioned by some researchers. Natural acceptance, approach acceptance, escape acceptance. Natural acceptance means seeing the death as inevitable end to life. So in me, that is a natural part of life. So in the Theravada Buddhist literature, the Buddha mentioned about that, compared with the many simile, with the natural simile. For example, the dewdrop on the grass vanish easily because of the sun rays. Likewise, the life of all living beings will be destroyed easily because of the natures of impermanence of life. So in this way, we can see how the Buddha compared with the natural environment and death. So if we accept death as a part of life, we can also reduce the fear of death. And then the approach acceptance. This is accepting death as a alternative to get a better life. So in me, there is a theme to get better life after death. So when one passes away, one will get the better life. In this way, they accept that. So in the Theravada Buddhist literature, we can see that the Buddha expounded there's many realms, many abodes. After that, one can reborn. If we do the good deed, after that, we can get the better life, like the deity abode, like the Brahmin abode, like that. So the idea of better life also just the active life and reduce fear of dying. Normally, people are afraid of losing something what they possess. However, if it is possible to get something better or more profitable, they are happy to give it their position. That's why the people invest their money in their business. So if the people will accept that after death we can get a better life, if we do good deed in this present life, we also can reduce the fear of death. So in this way, we can accept the death like the approach acceptance. And then escape acceptance, that is accepting death as an alternative to a painful existence. In me, some people think that if we die, we all finish all the painful or suffering will be eradicated. They think like that, but it is not like that. If we if we kill ourselves like them, committing suicide, we cannot get the better life by doing so. It is because if we are lack of doing good deed, we cannot get better life, we cannot escape from suffering. So this one is not acceptable in the Theravada, according to the Theravada Buddhist literature. So if we accept the death as a natural part of life or a way to get a better life, in this way also we can reduce the fear of death. And then Maranassati pride can reduce the quarreling. We can see in slide number 7. There is one verse expounded by the Buddha. The foolish do not realize that we in this world must all die and continue their quarrel. The wise realize it and thereby their quarrel is ceased. So the Buddha expounded this verse once, and the man of the Gossambi had fallen into the two groups. They were quarrel often, so even the Buddha couldn't stop their quarreling. At the time, the Buddha reminded them, so you should contemplate on that, and if you are wise and know about that, you will cease the quarreling. So that's why practicing Maranassati also a tool to removing, dispelling the quarrel. And let's go to the slide number 8. The support of Maranassati for dispelling conceit. In the Vaina Pijavakita Bhatana Sutta, the Buddha instructs the five facts that one should reflect on often, whether one is a woman or man, lay or ordained. The third one is this: I am subject to death. I have not gone beyond death. Maranathamomi, Marananati. In this way, we should reflect on that. So some people in the world, being they are arrogant and intoxicated with the lie, because of that intoxication, they made in a bad way in their body, speech, and mind. But when they reflect on that often, that intoxication will either be entirely abandoned or grow weaker. That's why reflection on that can reduce the conceits that will produce the negative thought on the human endeavor. Let's go to the slide number 9. The support of Maranassati for fostering contentment. This is also one of the beneficial. When we practice Maranassati, we can get the contentment. The Visuddhimagga also state that one of the benefits of Maranassati practice is avoiding mass storing and having no strain or outrage about the requisites. One of the scientific research, so they are finding that a woman in the deep reflection group experience higher overall appearance distribution, weight distribution, and shape distribution. So it means when we reflect on that, we will be satisfied whatever we have, and we will reduce our greed or less. So if we can reduce our greed, we can stay happily in the world. That's why the Buddha says the one who content is the happier person in the world. And then let's go to the slide number 10. There are also some benefits mentioned in the Visuddhimagga. The support of Maranassati for postarian positive quality. If one practice the Maranassati, it can be a great support for renunciation and Dhamma to enlightenment. So if one practice Maranassati, he will be always mindful whatever he do. The possession of disenchantment with the all kinds of life, containing evil action, avoiding mastery, having no strain or average about the requisites, growing the possession of impermanence, appearing the possession of suffering and non-self, and dying without fear, and leading to a happy destiny. These are also mentioned in the Visuddhimagga. So when we practice Maranassati, we can get a lot of benefits. So if we know that practicing Maranassati is not a thing to bring the bad luck, it can bring many benefits. If we know the advantages of this practice, we can practice easily. We can engage this practice easily. So now I will explain how to practice Maranassati. Let's go to the slide number 11. To practice the Maranassati or mindfulness or that, the first step is to choose a suitable place like the other meditation subject. The suitable place means the secluded place or the place where you can concentrate your mind. After choosing a suitable place, the second step is to apply wisely reflection. It is to remind oneself about the reality that there is very much a part of one's life, and the life faculty will be interrupted at any time. By doing so, there occur mindfulness and the sense of agency and knowledge. So this is the benefits of practicing mindfulness. But in this case, when one reflects on that unwisely, some bad mental state can impact on him. For example, when we reflect unwisely on the death of the beloved one, at the time the sorrow can arise. It is just like the mother who recalls the death of her son, the sorrow or grief can arise in her. So also, when one reflects unwisely on the death of the enemies, at the time there can appear unwholesome joy because the dead person, we dislike him. So when we see a person die, when we see the disliked person die, we sometimes we may happy. So it is the actually unwholesome joy. And then if we reflect unwisely on the death of the natural person, at the time also we cannot get the sense of urgency because it is like the grave digger. A grave digger is a cemetery worker who is responsible for digging a grave prior to funeral service. He always see the dead body, he always touch the dead body. That's why when we see someone die, he neither frightened nor delight at seeing the dead. So when we see natural person, the dead natural person, at the time also it is hard to get the sense of urgency, samvega. And then when we reflect unwisely on our own death, at the time the fear can rise, just like the murderer with the unlit swords following us. So, in my experience, when we reflect on our own death, it is difficult to get the sense of urgency because we are not the we we do not die yet. So it is better to focus someone who has already died. It is easy to get the sense of urgency. That's why here the wisely reflection is very important. If the meditator want to reflect probably on that, he should first look at the dead body of a person. Maybe the person was formerly very rich or very famous. He lived happily. He enjoyed many things with the family. But eventually, he can't escape from that. He also died. So if we see that situation, we can reflect. Now we are still alive, but one day we will surely die like him. So in this way, we can reflect. So wisely reflection here me, when we see the dead person, we shouldn't think who are they, but we should think that what are they or what happened to them. Just in the situation, we can get the sense of urgency. If we think who are they at the time, if we know that the person we love, at the time the sorrow can arise. And if we know the person we hate, the unwholesome joy can appear. That's why we just think about that, not think about the person. Then we can reflect that uncertainty is my life, adome, jividan, adome, jividan. My life is uncertain. My life is uncertain. In this way, we can reflect. Duome, marana. My death is certain. My death is certain. I shall surely die. Avasamaya Maritaba Mewa. That will be the terminations of my life. Marana Priyosana me Jivida. Jivida Mewa Aniyada. My life is not sure, unstable. Marana Niyada. That is sure, that is sure. I will die, I will die. In this way, we can reflect on the death to get the sense of agency. If these methods are not enough, we can further contemplate, we can think about the death like the appearance of Madara. We are born as a human being here. As soon as we born, the death came together with the life. So it is just like the mushroom bed that always grow up, lifting dust on their top. So beings are also born carrying agents and death. In this way also we can reflect. And then sometimes we can think that the whatever we possess in life, we had to give back, we had to leave. So for example, we have some people close friends, so they don't want us die when we get sick or when we are in a serious disease. At that time, they will take care of us. They don't want us die, but eventually they can also prevent from death. They just look at when we are dying, when we die. So also our property and our body. So we take care of our body every day. It follow us. But when we are about to die, when we die, the body also will be separated from us. So in this way, we can reflect even we have attachment to our body and property. But one day, we had to leave everything. If we thought like that, if we reflect on that like that, we can reduce the worry or the greed based on the property and our body. Also, we could think about the body. Our body can be destroyed by many causes. Some are internal, some are external. It means we can die from the external danger, like some enemy, the poisonous insect. When they bite us, we can die. And also in our body, many diseases can impact, and by one of them, we can die at any time. So in this way also, we can reflect and we can remind ourselves. So briefly, there has some reason we can reflect because that will be definitely can and cannot be avoided, like the appearance of Mara. That's why we should pride. And then because our lifespan cannot be extended, it is very limited. That's why we must pride it. We must pride it. Because even we are alive there, but the time of the living is very little. It is very shortness of the moment. That's why we must pride it. We must pride it. And then because lifespan is indefinite, it is timeless. That's why we should pride it right now. The cause of death are many, and the causes of life are few. So there are many causes that make us die. That's why we should pride it right now. And the time of death is uncertain due to the priority of the body. That's why we should practice right now. And then, because at the time of death, our parents are helpless. Because at the time of death, our weight is helpless. Uh, because at the time of death, our body also no help. That's why we should practice without attachment to the property, to the body. In this way also we can practice. And then based on the being, we can practice the Maranassati to Sabbe Satta Marana Dhamma. All sentient beings are subject to die. Sabbe Satta Marana Priyosana. All beings and enter. Sabbe Satta Marana Anatita. All sentient beings are unable to escape from death. In that way also we can reflect on that. So indeed, Maranassati practice a great support for a peaceful abiding in this present life, fostering a concentrated mind and insight. That's why the Buddha said that one should develop mindfulness of that. When mindfulness of that is developed many times, it is of the great benefits in us in deathless state. It is Nibbana. It means that one who practices Maranassati can lead to the Nibbana. That's why when we practice Maranassati, we can get many benefits. If we understand the benefits mentioned in the Theravada Buddhist literature, assigned to but it will not be difficult to engage in the practice of Maranassati. In the contemporary world, many people are not comfortable talking about, even thinking about it. So, for them, if they understand the aforementioned advantages of the modernity practice, it will be easier to engage in this practice and that can foster several positive outlook in the world, in their daily life. So in this way, we can practice modernity. Thank you for listening to me patiently. Sukhita Hota Dukha Mojata. May you be well and happy. May you escape from mental and physical suffering. Uh, Varanasi is only one, just contemplating on that. But there are different kinds of that, like the uh, momentary death, uh, the concept, the conceptual death, like the Kanika Marana, Samudi Marana. So, for the Maranasati or Marananosati, as the practice of the samatha, we had to contemplate the Jivi Dendri Yupachira Marana. It means the ending of the life faculty. So on that we had to contemplate. For Vipassana meditation, we can contemplate the momentary death, Kanika Marana. Kanika Marana is like the disappearance of the mental or physical phenomena that happen in every moment. That's why the Vipassana practitioner can contemplate on that kinds of death. So, it, so in this way, that can be different.